Kia ora everyone. So you've made it to the boss, the big boss, the hardest level, the duffel bag. Now this is not for the faint-hearted. I highly recommend that you've looked at all our different tutorials before completing the duffel bag. The duffel bag is a beast. It is a beast with many different tentacles. Definitely has been the hardest video to film, but it will impress your family and friends definitely the most. Today's duffel bag is being made from an old curtain, a yoga mat for the base, and a flannel duvet cover for the inside lining. I'm using a bright orange thread to contrast my blue curtain. What you'll need for this project is pins, fabric scissors, a meter-long zip, a ruler, and a pencil. The first thing we'll need to do is dismantle our curtain. We will be using the top part of the curtain as our bag handle, as it is a good width. Cut off the edge and proceed to pull it apart. I've cut a bottom layer of my old yoga mat. Now this measures 58 centimeters long and 33 centimeters wide. This will be slightly smaller than our bottom fabric pieces, so that the fabric can fit over the top of the mat. Now the reason why we are including a lining today is because the inside of our curtain fabric has quite a few stains, plus the second layer adds another layer of cushioning. Cutting the pieces. For the bottom piece, measure 60 centimeters high and 35 centimeters wide. For each piece of fabric that you cut out, you'll need an outer layer and an inner lining. Proceed to cut out the curtain fabric and repeat this with the lining. For the long left and right side of the bag, measure 60 centimeters high and 25 centimeters wide. You'll need 2 lining pieces and 2 curtain pieces. For the end sides of the bag, measure 25 centimeters high and 35 centimeters wide. You'll need 2 outer layers and 2 inner linings. For the top pieces of the bag, measure 60 centimeters high and 17 centimeters wide. Cut out 2 of the outer layer and 2 of the inner lining. Pin the corresponding lining to the outer fabric pieces. The inside of the curtain and fabric lining stick together kind of naturally, so this is why we won't need to sew each piece before adding it to our duffel bag. I am now going to sew my zipper. So the piece that we're sewing to the zipper is the 17 centimeter wide and 60 centimeter long piece. My outer fabric and inner lining are both connected at this point. Fold the fabric over and pin the fabric to the zipper. Leave a little bit of your zipper hanging off the edge, just following along the line. Once you've run the sewing machine over the edge of the fabric, repeat the same process on the other side of the top piece of fabric. Be sure that each piece of fabric is lined up with each other. Take your piece of cut yoga mat, lay it on top of your curtain fabric, then cover the mat with your top lining. Pin along the edges. We are now going to start to pin the corresponding pieces together. I'm pinning the short side here. We have now pinned the 2 long and short sides to the duffel bag. The edge of the lining should be connecting up with each piece. Turn the bag over so that the lining is on the outside. Pin the top fabric to the long side of the bag. We are now going to sew to connect the bottom piece of the fabric to the bottom of the long side piece. There is quite a lot of fabric to be working with. Now we are going to sew the bottom of the short side to the bottom piece of fabric. When connecting the top of your side pieces to your top piece, be careful when running over the zipper. I lift up my presser foot, carrying the thread over the teeth of the side, then continuing sewing along. Do the same on the other end of the bag, being aware of the zipper teeth, sewing together the tail end of the zipper. Sewing the pieces of the duffel bag together is like assembling a cube. It can get a little confusing, that is why you should take it slow and sew one piece together at a time. When connecting pieces, just remember that the length of pieces that are being sewn together should be the same. After you've sewn all your pieces together, your bag should look like this. We are now going to make our straps. Our duffel bag has 2 straps. Measure about 120 centimeters, then cut the fabric. Then cut that fabric in half. Turn the fabric inside out and sew along the strap. Do the same with the second strap. Now turn the fabric inside out. Proceed to turn your duffel bag right side out. Pin the strap along the long side of the bag. Once you're happy with the positioning of your strap, begin to sew from the top left corner. We will be sewing a large rectangle. I like how the orange thread pops, but you can also choose a thread that matches your fabric. Once you're finished, cut off any loose threads. Repeat this sewing process 3 more times to attach the straps. There you have it, a duffel bag made out of an old curtain and a flannel sheet. The yoga mat base gives the duffel bag a nice shape. This duffel is great for camping and weekends away. It can easily fit a pillow, blanket, clothing, snacks, you name it.
You've made it to the end of the tutorial. You're a pro. You've done the hardest level of Little Vicar. But I know what you're thinking. Victoria, this brand is all about repurposing. It's all about conserving materials. So what happens when I've finished using my duffel bag and it can no longer be used as a duffel bag? Well, if you'd like to find out more information about how to repurpose your duffel bag, you can go to our repurpose section of the website, which will give you tutorials on how to repurpose every product that you've made.